Good morning, Flosstube. It's Lynette here from not so sunny Brisbane. We're having more rain today and tomorrow, more rain. Don't fall over backwards. The fact that I'm filming only 2 weeks after my last one, but there's a quiet moment in the house and I'm taking advantage of them. I've had a lot of things happening lately. I've been flying. I've had 2 flights already and I'm having another one on Sunday. My stepmother, who'd been quite ill, gone downhill after a broken hip and Alzheimer's. She passed away last Wednesday, so just over a week ago, and her funeral will be on Monday. It's sad, but it was time for her to move on, and I know she's in a better place. So while I have this moment, I've got some notes, so I'll be following them and they will be attached to the bottom of the video after I have uploaded it. A few, I can't remember when it was, I couldn't find some finishes one day and they were in my finishing pile, which is why I couldn't finish them. This isn't actually one of those. This is another one. I've had this Lesley Teare piece stitched for a long time. And I've turned it into a project bag. It's got a little bit of just a bland kind of interesting middle inner liner. Anyway, so I thought you might like to see that one. I'm sure you can find these birds on Lesley Teare's website. Initially they came out from in a magazine. I think they were seasonal. I'm not sure what that one is. I thought you might like to finish that. Now I have a few other finishes waiting to be made into project bags, but we'll get to them when I can. Energy levels are low at the moment. So let's go to new starts. This is also a purchase. So this is Durene Jones stocking, and I need to make a stocking for my new grandson. And I was going to do a different one, and I decided that it was going to be too skinny. It was a Kathy Barrick. I'll show it to you later, but it was too skinny. So Durene Jones popped up and said she had a sale, so I went hunting and I thought this was cute. So I only made a start on this yesterday. I managed to rechart the name, and it's still in the hoop because I'm going to work on it again. So let me just get it up for you. Here we go. Oops. So I'm pretty pleased with that start. It's on a 30 count elixir. I don't know anything else about it. We had a very interesting needlework shop here that's closed down, and when they were having their sales I just bought this because I thought, oh, it's nice, and I'm really enjoying working on it. So I've got it also in markup RXP, but it's in twice because there's one with a back stitch and one without back stitch. So I just thought I'd put it in there to get a bit of progress statistics, but essentially I'm working off the paper pattern for this one. We'll see how we go as we go along. But I really enjoyed working on that yesterday. Another new start is the stained glass sampler cell from Carolyn Manning, and I've started on the framework. So it's supposed to start in April, but I was delighted when I signed up that I actually got the whole framework and the first 2 blocks. I'm not sure how often it's going to be released, but I thought it would be a really good start if I could get all the framework up, and I got that done before my last trip. Now I haven't actually picked it up again in the last few days, but I will get back to it. So it's 1/1 on 18 count. It's a fabric Flair and it is Cloud Lilac. So I got it from Sew It All in Australia here. I've seen fabric Flair in other places for sale, but they don't all seem to have the same colours, I've noticed. So it'll be 3x4, be 12, yeah, 3x4. So I'm quite enjoying that, and that's just a pattern as we fly past that I've printed out. I started it on the iPad and then went to the printed chart because I was wanting to watch Flosstube as I was stitching it, and because it's geometrical, it's fairly easy to use. Let me just have a sip. Okay, so plans and whips are all sort of going to be overlapping. Carolyn Zook and Bob and Baker's Magazine Monthly Challenge are doing a Springo, which will be a lot of fun. I haven't actually got the Springo board with me, but it's a 5x7 board. So there's 35 spaces, but you have 7 projects. So you have one for S, one for P, etc. And then you can only get either bingos across or down. You can't get them diagonal because it's not a square. Anyway, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting because not everything is going to get called. So the polar bear stitching was my S for stocking. So SP, P is Spring Moon, which is a Plum Street, P for Plum Street. And I've been wanting to do one of these moons, and I've been trying to buy the winter one. One place I tried to buy it here said it was out of print, which I don't know that makes sense because these are fairly new. So I might look further afield to get the winter one, but I could get the spring one here in Australia. And all I've done is started the moon. So I've done the outline grey colour, and then I'm doing just white in the middle. So I'm using a mix of the called for and some DMCs. So I'm just using the called for ones where they're going to be most show up. But for some reason I didn't buy a lily pad, and that's the bulk of all those, it's in the centres of all these leaves. They've got an outline, and then there's lily pad in the middle. So I really want to get lily pad because there's a lot of that. And I think I need to buy 2 skeins. Now I'm doing this on a, what am I doing it on? I don't think it's 40 count. It might be 36 count, 1/2. Oh, here we go. I thought it was more, yeah, 36 count light mocha, Edinburgh linen. And for you Americans, it's pronounced Edinburgh. I think I said that last time, just so you know. Not really a big thing. So that's P. Then R, I am going to, R for Rosewood Manor, and I'm doing the Camberly sampler. I like this one. I want to get the birds done because I didn't actually really enjoy doing the birds, so I thought I would have, but I didn't. And I mentioned this on my last Flosstube, and Carolyn Zook, who was my inspiration for starting this, changed her plans and decided she's going to do it as well. So I've got right across the top there one of the flowers and a bird. So right across the top I've done this, I've done a bird, and I think I've got this flower done here. So I put down for I think it's 100 stitches or an hour is the usual go-to for these things. So I've done that. I'm doubling it up with some other stuff, so I'll let you know when I get to those. But they're just all the DMCs. That's R, so SPRI. I is a bit of a tricky one, but I went me, myself and I, and decided, remember me, because me, I'm an I, remember me. Me, myself and I. So I only started this not that long ago, and I haven't done very much of it. I think I mentioned this one in my last one as well, so I won't go on about it. It's at the same spot, but I've got it here because these are my Springo starting points. And I just started in the middle, and I'm working my way across to the left corner, which is where I like to start. And this is Fox and Rabbit Desert Taipan 40 count. So I've started here, and I'm working my way back to this corner, and then I'll work around. And it'll be fun because you can jump around with this a little bit. So me, myself and I for SPRI. This, not, despite the fact I've made quite a few project bags, nothing here is in a terribly exciting bag. Oh, this one's a fox and rabbit because it's a pencil case I got at our office work stationery store. Fox is perfect. I thought the mushrooms are cute. And I think this is where this was last time. So this is Springo G4 Cloistered Garden. And the next part has come out, which is these one on each side. And I really need to get onto it because the month's nearly gone. But just with travelling and other things, I've just been pretty lenient, just doing what I feel like on the whole. But I'm really looking forward to the next part. So that'll be the G. And because I'm going to have it in the Springo, it will get... well, it might not get worked on because we don't know how many, only 25 out of the 35 are getting called. So that's SPRING. What have I missed? SPRIN. The N was N for New Start. That's the Carolyn Manning SAL. That was what N's for. And then O is for my oldest Heaven and Earth design. And that's this one, which was a freebie and it's now no longer available. But I think I've said this last time too, I feel like I'm repeating myself. I've done with that section. So it'll be good to get some more stitches on this. Because I do like working on it. So that's Springo. So there's whips and plants in there. This bit of hair, had a cut from a different person. I don't like it. Anyway, by the by. So then I've been watching Laura stitching by the shore ever since she started. I had a little bit of a gap there for a while. I don't know why hers weren't popping up. But she's got a Facebook group now called Stitching by the Shore, Laura. And she does an I Spy challenge. So I thought I'd double up. And her I Spy challenge for April, she has... sorry, on 2 different pieces of paper here. She has 10 prompts. So you find something that you can spy. So the first one is something silly. And so for something silly, I decided I'd do the Plum Street because a huge rabbit leaping over a house is just silly. And we love her Paulette's silly rabbits, so that's the silly. So then something that starts with the letter C, so that's Cloistered Gardens, which is the Fox and Rabbit Stitch Along. Earth Tones, I'm using the Remember Me by Teresa Kogut because they're sort of that colours. Number 4 is something shaped like a pretzel. I was debating doing oops, my pile's going to slide on me. I didn't know whether some of these flowers, like this flower here, looked a bit pretzel-y shaped. So I'm still umming and ahhing about what I'll do for the pretzel one. It's a very interesting challenge, Laura. An animal that could be a pet. Well, Furry Friends has rabbits in it. They can be pets. Stitch Along project, Carolyn Manning SAL. Water. Well, ice is frozen water. So my polar bear stocking has ice and snow, so that's water. Trees, I'm going to use the Spring Moon pattern of Plum Street because it's got trees in it. I've got my things out of order here. So Tiny Motive is number 9, and I'm in the Long Dog Samplers Stitch Along group, and I think I showed you this last time, but this has got tiny motifs in it. So I'm going to use this for the tiny motifs and see if I can get a bit more. Now for Laura's I Spy, I'm going to try and do 200. So there'll be 100 from Springo, and then I'll do another 100. And probably what I'll do when they're called for Springo, I'll just keep working on them until I've got 200. I've also got my Magazine Monthly Challenge sheet as well, and I've got a lot of them on there again, and I've got 200. on this one as well. So this is where this is at. And so I can use this in the long dog sampler group as well. It's much more fun than I thought. That doesn't quite make sense, but the back stitch is not as tedious as I thought. So it's got tiny motifs. So that'll be that one. And then her last one is Mythical Creatures. And I haven't finished Tempting Tangle's Smorg Stitch Along, but the dragon is a mythical creature, so I'll try and get some more work on this. I think it's about, it's a little over halfway maybe. And this one, sorry, what do I miss? This one, this is 22 count 1/1, the same as my furry friends, because that's how I like to do my full coverage. And this one is, this might be 40 count, I think, 1/1. I'm really enjoying the 40 count and the 36 count 1/1. And again, just in a Amazon bag. So then we go to extra bags here. So just other whips I've been working on. So I was doing the Autumn Lane Stitchery Winter Mystery, Woodland Winter Mystery SAL. Now Laura, I'll have to tag you because this fabric I won in a packet from Laura Stitching on the Shore, and it's a 36 count Zweigart linen. I can't remember whether it's platinum natural, but I really liked stitching on this, and so I ordered more of it for the Fox and Rabbit SAL. So the Fox and Rabbit's on the same fabric as this. So I finished part 1, half of part 2, half of part 3, all of part 4, and I've just started a little bit on part 5. Not a lot on part 5. So it just got put aside, I think, with the travelling and everything, because this is only on my iPad, and because you don't have an overview picture to start with, it's, anyway, I'm working on that. So that's another whip. So the Fox and Rabbit 2024 Stitch Along is supposed to be being worked along as well, but that really has stalled. I'm putting the Fisher King in because I've been watching Down the Rabbit Hole stitching, and I told her I'd finished my Death by Cross Stitch. It was in my last video, and I also told her I was going to make a video today, so I thought I'd put this one in. I do like working on this. Down the Rabbit Hole is working on Saga, which I also have started. And I've just done this little bit in the Mrs. Sada's silk. I debated put this in for tiny motifs, but I want to get a bit more work in on the other one. So I don't know whether that'll get looked at in April. So where are we going from there? Okay, now we start to cross over a little bit. I'll just run through my magazine monthly challenge. So the April theme is growth, and I'm using the stocking because my grandson is growing. He's a growing boy, and I hope my stocking is going to grow and be finished by time of Christmas. I just want a good chunk of that, maybe the first page finished. So then the acrostic is apricot, so I'll come back to A, P, Plum Street, R, Rosewood, Manor, I, me, myself and I, C, Camberly, Manor, O, oldest, full coverage, T, Teresa, Kogut, remember me. So remember me will get twice in there if I get that far. A is Anne Morrison. I bought this one. I think I bought 2 of these really special things that came out as exclusives from overseas, because here in Australia things are a bit pricey sometimes. So this was Traditional Stitches exclusive, and I started it when I got it. Do we have a copyright on here? I don't know. 1850? I've been doing it since 1830? No, I don't know. Does she put copyright? I can't see any copyright dates on it. So I don't know how long ago. I know it was a little while ago. So this became my travel stitching. I was doing the Crazy Cat Lady, which I will show you in a minute, but it's for my daughter. And in the trip last week and the trip when we go down to Wodonga on Sunday for the funeral, she's also going to be on. So I had to change my travel stitching because it's a gift, possibly a surprise. So I pulled this out, and this is a 30, pretty sure this is 32 count Belfast linen. I know it definitely is Zweigart. And I had done up into this band across here. So I've actually been really enjoying working on this. And it's half a, because I stitch in a hoop, I've just been doing what I could do in the hoop and then moving across. And I probably would have kept working on this yesterday, except yesterday I decided I should do the polar bear. So where am I? I'm working on this band here. I think that's right. Nope. The numbers. And I'll really be happy to get across here because there's a page break right through the middle of here. So my chart's getting a little bit dinged up, but I'm not too unhappy about that. So this will go with me again for the flight down on Sunday and back on Tuesday. And I'll just change bags. So this is in a completely clear bag because it means I can put my chart in here. Oops. I can see the chart without having to take it out. And I also have a pair of travel scissors that, yep, there they are. The last time I travelled, he told me they were the right size and they had rounded tips, so they were travel safe. And I thought, well, I knew that. I feel like I'm repeating myself. Anyway, that'll be my travel piece. And I'll put it over here because otherwise my pile is going to fall. So this is the Crazy Cat Lady one that I was using for the last travel piece. And this is on, I think, 18 count 1/1. And I'm still missing this darker colour because I haven't had time to get to our new cross stitch shop, which is very sad. Yeah, I quite enjoyed working on that, and honestly it's not going to take very long to finish. And then just this was the stocking that I love that I was going to do for my grandson. I probably showed you this last time because it was a new start, but it's only going to be 4 inches wide and I'm doing it on 40 counts. It's a bit ridiculous for a practical stocking. So that's why I decided to go to the Durene Jones one. But I might make this one for me. I don't actually have a stocking. Everyone else in my house does. So I really like that. So that's all my whips and plans, all intertwined. Then acquisitions. I've had a few acquisitions. So obviously I had the polar bear stocking and the stained glass sampler. But then Shannon Christine decided to have a sale and she very annoyingly told me about it. And I went looking. And so I bought these two. Oh, she also had a treasure hunt. And if you found the particular link, you also got a St. Patrick's Day style chart, which I've also downloaded. But I just thought this was so springy. I know it's not spring here, we're going into winter, autumn, but I just love the colours of this. And I watched the Dutch Stitcher, and she's often doing, Shannon Christina particularly, her Christmas ones. And so she sort of inspired me as well. So I don't know whether I'm going to start that. I was going to start it, but I had a different purchase, which is very springy, so I'll show you that in a second. And then this is very a la Plum sampler with my needle and thread, their houses. and I just thought it was really lovely, so I bought that one, and it's not that big, so it'll be a lot less stitching than those other ones. So yeah, I don't know, that might get started sooner than later, even though it's Christmas, maybe Christmas in July. There's a thought. But the other one I did buy, which superseded the spring one, is I've been watching people stitch Cloistered Garden's charts, and then I need to mention Jill Smith, who's the pyjama stitcher. She has a Facebook group that I've joined. She does Our Forest Embroidery Fridays, which started me off joining with her, and I haven't touched an Our Forest since, I don't think. I do have about 2 or 3 Our Forests that I could do, but she was stitching Spring in the City for spring, because, you know, she's Northern Hemisphere spring, and I had this one sitting in my Etsy cart. So this is Easter in the City. Yeah, it's Easter in the City. Obviously, Pasqua must be Easter in Italian, is it? Or is it French? I think she's Italian. Her name's Doriga Michela. I think she's probably Italian. Anyway, I just bought it because Jill had one and started it, and so I think this is going to be a start pretty soon. And Easter's coming up, despite the fact Easter's not in spring in Australia. I just love all the little houses, the bunnies. It's just all so cute. Looks like this one came out in 2003. In the screen I can see, I can't see it in real life, but here. Oh no, it says eggs. Sorry, I'm reading it back to front. It says eggs. So there's a little bit to that one. Whoops, a little bit to it. It'll be just a nice slow burn one, very pretty. And then I've obviously been very enabled recently, and just enabled by Facebook, not by even person. Came up with these absolutely gorgeous felt work things. This is an Easter egg, and a house. They come with all the bits, threads, fabric, wool. Yeah. So I bought 2. So my friend Jenny has been away. She's actually coming home today. We're going to be like ships passing in the night. But when I get back, we're going to have a day together. And we both have lots of fabric and felt. So I thought if we got 2, we can use the patterns for our own stash. And just have a fun time stitching those. So that will be fun, and I will let you know of our progress. So that's my acquisitions. And then some of you may know I do have an Etsy shop. I had issues with it when I changed my email for a whole heap of reasons, and then we've moved and everything. And today I've just managed to get 2 patterns up in it. There are some slow stitch packets of fabric in there, but only shipping to Australia with those. But the PDFs can be anywhere in the world. So I've got an Easter one I made for the Down the Rabbit Hole magazine, which was a magazine, I'm not even sure whether it's still going, for a while back. I should look it up. And I made this one because there was an Easter theme. So this is my blue Easter egg, and it's called Blue Easter Egg, might be called Book Finish Pattern or something. I got this book finish idea off Teresa Kogut. So you can purchase that in my Etsy shop, and it's just a book, and because it's a book, you can, sit it on something. And I did go over the spine a bit with a black pen over the silver, just to make that less obvious. So that's in my Etsy shop. with full instructions for completing it like this. But of course you can do anything you like with it. You could make it into actually into an egg if you're really clever. So that's that one. And then this is another one that I made quite a while ago and I've got put up, and it's called Lacework Table Mat. And this is my shop's name. You know, my name everywhere now is Hexagon Stitches, because I used to love doing hexagons and I would like to get into doing some more. I'll show you something else in a minute. But this one, I designed the middle, and I think I've used a Silks for You thread that has some variegation in it. So any variegated threads you'd like, you could use. I didn't bring over the instructions. I'm not sure whether it's 2/2 or 1/2. I think it looks like a 32 count. I can't quite remember, sorry. Oh, wait a minute. I've got my folder here, it should tell us. And I've got another one here. This one here was stitched by my friend Jenny. I don't know what thread she used. What have I got here? Do I have instructions? So when you get you get full instructions for how to do all the hexagon bits. You get a page telling you how to do hexagons if you've never done them before. You get a 1-page chart. You get a 4-page chart. Yes, and it was stitched on 32 count linen. And on 32 count linen, it comes out at 5 1/4 this way by 7 1/4 this way. But then you'll need extra if you want to do this kind of finish. So it's a little bit different, and there's full, as I said, there's full instructions for these kind of patterns. I have pictures. I'm trying to find pictures. Yeah, you get step-by-step pictures for it. Yeah, step-by-step pictures on how to do the hexagons and everything in there. So they're both in my Etsy shop if you want to go and wander over there. And I managed to inadvertently put the Easter egg one in twice. So yeah, go and buy them because I put it in twice. And if you wonder why Etsy PDF patterns go out of stock, which I could never work out why a PDF could go out of stock, it's because the designer has to put X number in and you're charged by Etsy per pattern. So I put 5 in at a time usually, and then when they're all sold, then Etsy may or may not let me know, and then I can put up another 5. So it's so that Etsy can get their take on it. So that's why. So that's my Etsy shop. And just move you for a second. I've got 2 other things I thought I'd show you. So talking about hexagons, this is a French General Fabric range. I'm doing, these are 3/4 inch hexagons, which I like. I prefer them to the 1 inch. And I'm just pottering away on that little by little. One day I would like to write on hexagons with hexagon designs in it, including cross stitch and crochet. But it's a very slow process. So I've just got them all in this beautiful folder, project folder that my friend Mary made. We have a stitching group and Mary makes us the most beautiful project bags. So that went with me. That's also a travel project. And then the other travel, well, it's not a travel project, but the aim of it at the end of the day is to do a travel project. Give me 1 second, I've forgotten the book. Lovely picture of my reflection. I'm going to try and put something up here. And I thought about it too late, and I thought if I mess around doing that today, I'll never get this up. So Jennifer Clouston is originally South African, but she's in Australia. She's up north of us in Queensland. And she has a morning snippet video. And she's written several books and she tutors. I'd love to go and do a class with her at some time. Look, she's beautiful. And they're all numbered, if you can see here. So, and then at the bottom it tells you what the stitch is, and then further in the book, somewhere in the book, all the stitch diagrams. So I bought this the other day. It's probably not the one I should have bought a different one of hers. This one is like basic stitches, which I know a lot of, but it's still a beautiful book to have. She's written another one that's a bit more more designs. I can't think of the word. Anyway, she was talking about one day, she has this little pouch, and it's like, this is mine in the making. So this is the outside, and it will go like this eventually. And then you have pockets in here on each end, and then in the middle she has a drawstring bag that's attached here. And this is her Hexagon travel piece, and so in the middle she'll have her papers and cut out fabrics, and then in the side she'll have completed ones. And she has like this, she's got a method of having your thread. It's not the same as this, but so that your thread reel doesn't roll away. And I thought it was just beautiful. It's a borrow stitching bag. She was doing all this borrow work on it, and this here is borrow that I've launched out and added some other bits and pieces to it. So I've still got to stitch all this side, and all the other bits, the pockets, all the other bits are ready to go. They're just waiting for me to finish this bit, and then I can put the whole thing together. And you can buy this pattern off her website, and you could use it for tiny cross stitches and things as well, possibly. And of course you could always enlarge the pattern and make it bigger, because it's not that big, as you can see. It's anyway, I had this mad idea before I went on my last flight to Sydney, that if I got it all together I could stitch on it while I was travelling. And then I decided, I've actually got these bits glued down, but they're still lifting a bit, and I just decided it was a bit too problematic. So it's just been sitting on my table here waiting for completion. But if you like a bit of other sorts of embroidery, and especially creative stuff, look up Jennifer Cloistered, both her website and her YouTube channel. It's really lovely. She sits in a back garden, and she has the cockatoos and magpies and all that in the background. So it's just a bit of fun, 10-15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. So that's the things I've been working on. I also made Riley a jumper, but I took that to him last weekend when I went to Sydney, so it's not here. I've got another one that's going to have little dogs on it. I might show you some of that when I've got it in process ever. I don't know when you'll see me again. It would be really lovely to do another one in a couple of weeks and try and keep a 2-weekly routine, but life has just been one thing after another since the last 2 years, so it is what it is, and I just enjoy getting up a Flosstube and talking to you when I can. So don't forget to watch Down the Rabbit Hole and Laura's Stitching by the Shore, Carolyn Magazine Monthly Challenge, Carolyn's Silk Stitching, I think, on YouTube, and Robin Baker, Bird's Eye Stitcher. So they're all the ladies that I'm doing different challenges with. And there's a lot of new ones, so I'll try and let you know. The lady in the pink, she's quite fun too. I've been enjoying watching her. Anyway, I'll sign off now, and have a good week, everyone, and happy stitching, and thank you all for watching. Bye.